This is Robin from the Back Pain Secret podcast, and today we're going to talk about why you should walk if you have back pain. I'm going to cue up the cue song, the intro song, and I'm going to be right back. So here's the important question. How can back pain sufferers like us, who don't want to use prescription drugs or go through surgery, heal our back pain? How do we live our daily lives in a way that allows us to go to work, take care of our families, enjoy life, and still manage our back pain? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Robin Wakeham, and welcome to Back Pain Secrets. Okay guys, I'm back, and today we are going to talk about why you should be walking if you have back pain, okay? And you that are watching the YouTube channel, you see that I had a shave, okay? So I have a little story about that. I'm also going to be standing up, not walking at the moment. I couldn't handle it with the dog, and also walking and just making sure that she didn't jump up on people. So I'm actually up on a mountain right here. I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of the whole thing, okay? And it's really nice, you know, just in the morning to wake up to this. It's crazy. And just look behind me there, okay? It's great. I also have Eva with me, but she's hooked up to a tree right now. You see her over there? Okay, so first off guys, I had a shave, okay? I just were doing some stuff during the weekend here, you know. I was cleaning up a lot of papers, cleaning up the apartment, going through stuff, made some big decisions, business decisions, and I felt like it was like time for new change, you know. So I just shaved it all off. I have to admit it feels very strange, you know. I've been having a beard for almost 2 years, and the change has been it's different, okay? So we'll see what happens if I grow it out again or not. Also, I attended a wedding during the weekend, and it was awesome. You know, one of my colleagues that I work with married, and I always love going to weddings. You know, you see people are so happy and so enthusiastic, and it's just good vibe, okay? So I had a really good time at the wedding. My family went as well, so everyone was there. And today we are going to talk about why you should be walking if you have back pain, okay? Most of you guys know walking is beneficial when you have back pain, but why should you do it? What's the specific reasons behind that, okay? So I have a story for you guys about Peter. And Peter is about 35 years old. He has an office job, a desk job. He has like middle management stuff that he does. And Peter's big problem in life, that at least that the way he feels, is that he never has any good luck, okay? He had kind of a rough, when he was growing up, he had a rough time, you know. He got picked on. He had some problems with his parents, a lot of like shit with the family, you know. And then also he was doing sports, so when he injured his knee, and he blamed, like, he had a negative attitude towards most things in life, just because he felt like no one really understood him and the circumstances he was growing up and living in, you know. You could almost say that he felt like he was living in a cage, okay? Living in a cage. And whenever you meet people like that, you know, I meet a lot of people being a physiotherapist. I can meet like 60 to 80 to 100 people a week sometimes, you know, and it's nuts. And you can spot these cage people that they're quite negative, you know. Whatever we talk about, they always come back to something negative and try to like pull the atmosphere down, you know. And it's usually something that they're blaming their life, their circumstances, and everyone else, you know. And they feel like no one can really understand what their situation is. Well, anyway, Peter's desire in life was to excel, to become like higher up in the organization. So he worked his butt off. He worked like 50-60 hours a week. He didn't really have any relationships with women, no kids, no family. He just focused on work, okay? But being on the road, as he needed to do in the job, and also he was sitting quite a lot, didn't do any exercise, he put on more and more weight. And also sitting down for that amount of time in front of his laptop started to create problems for his back, his lower back. And the pain was not radiating out, it was just located in his lower back, and it was painful, and he was starting to get irritated because whenever he sat down the pain started and he couldn't really think, so that irritated him more and more. This went on for a good year and a half, you know, and externally he didn't really do too much, you know. He just took some pills, he didn't do any physical exercise or nothing like that, you know. And internally he felt like, why did this happen to him, you know? Why? I mean, he was putting in the hours at work and he was doing all the right stuff to excel at work, but this back pain was now hindering him, like all the other stuff in his life that had hindered him. When he was doing sports, he injured his knee. When he grew up, he had problems with his family that made him have a strange relationship or a strange connection to other people, you know. He never felt that he could trust anyone because of his upbringing. So he was blaming everyone around himself, you know, and all the stuff. But the stuff that Peter didn't really like, he understood it on a deep level, I think, but he never really changed his attitude, you know. He was just always blaming other people, other circumstances, and not looking inwards towards why this would happen, why he had the back pain. It's quite obvious, right? He was sitting all day, he wasn't doing any exercise, and he was basically just putting too much focus in the work and just forgetting about everything else. So one night when Peter went to the bathroom, he sat down and he felt like excruciating pain in his lower back, and it was more painful than before, much more painful. And also he started to shake, his left leg started to shake uncontrollable, and also he had problems like holding his pee in, okay, and he felt like this was something major that had gone down, you know. So he called a friend, and the friend came over, and they actually went into the emergency room, and he had an MRI, and it showed that he had a herniated disc in his lower back, and the disc and the herniation and the disc was pressing on the nerve, and he met a doctor in there, and the doctor told him, you know, we're just going to give you some morphine and some tablets now, and you can be here during the night, and tomorrow we'll make a decision if we're going to operate the disc or operate your back or not, okay? So he woke up, Peter, the following morning there, and they had like two specialists that came in, and they told me, you know, we're gonna do like an acute lumbar discectomy on your lower back, you know, to try to release this pressure you're having on your nerves in your back. And of course he was frightened, you know. You never want to go in for surgery, and he was very scared and very felt alone, you know. He didn't really have anyone to call. His family, the few people that he kept in touch with, they were living in another city a few hours away. The friends he had was not really close friendships, it was just like work related stuff, you know. And he didn't have any relationship with a partner or none of that, you know. So he felt very alone and afraid, and just like life was rough on him, you know. So anyway, he had the surgery, but before he went in, he made a decision for himself, you know, that if I come through this and the back pain is reduced, I'm gonna turn shit around in my life, you know. I'm gonna like get a more balanced life, okay. I'm gonna start to exercise, I'm gonna build relationships, I'm going to close all or close all the bad stuff that has happened in my life before and stop blaming people, okay? I'm gonna take charge of my life. That was the thing that he promised himself, you know. So he went through the surgery, he woke up, and the back was of course sore, but it was much better. He could actually walk, stand up more or less straight away when he woke up, you know. And he felt hope, you know. He felt hope. He felt like this was the turning point in his life. So when he got out of the hospital, first off, he took like a week and a half off from work, and he sat down actually, you know, and he wrote down all the things on a piece of paper. He had a piece of paper and he drew a big line in the middle, and he put down on the right side, he put down all the negative stuff in his life, and on the left side he put down all the positive things in his life, you know. And he needed to see this in black and white, you know, because there was a lot of good stuff going on in his life, but up to this point he just felt like everything was against him, you know, the whole world. He felt like he was living in a cage and he couldn't get out. So first off, all the positive stuff that he had on the list, he was looking at that, and the people that were associated to those positive things, he actually contacted them and told them how much he appreciated them, and that he really enjoyed spending time with them, and he was turning a new path now. Almost sounds religious, this stuff, okay, because this was big for Peter. The next thing was the negative stuff, and that's where I came in. So he all the like obvious negative stuff, the easy stuff, he started off with that. So the back pain he knew was going to come back if he didn't do anything. So I was one of the points on the list, you know, to start exercising and start taking better care of himself, okay? So this is actually when Peter came into my office, and we had a chat, and I felt like he had like a story to tell. So I asked him, you know, just tell me what's going on, and this is the story he told me, and I was quite touched by it. And I told him, you know, well, the one thing you can do anywhere, anytime, with no equipment is walking, you know. So I would recommend you to walk every morning 40 to 50 minutes, 7 days a week, you know. Just start off with that, to do that for 6 months. That will also reduce your back pain. It will keep you in great shape. And the big thing, Peter, that it's going to do, it's going to release hormones in your body, endorphins, okay? And he asked me, what is endorphins? Well, I told him endorphins are kind of like the body's own pain soldiers, you know. They go out and fight the pain. And he understood that, and he said, well, that's great. Well, there's also another benefit when you're doing that, Peter. It affects your mind. You become more positive. You feel more strong. Like you have stuff going on in your life, and you can actually whenever you're walking, after you walk, and especially if you do in the morning, you have a more positive outlook, you know, and you treat people better, you treat yourself better, you eat better, and it affects your mind quite a bit. It can also fight depression. He was very happy about that. So he started to walk. Peter started to walk every morning for about 45 minutes. And he came back about a year and a half or a year after, you know. He'd lost like, I don't know, like maybe 15 kilos, you know. He had been promoted at work to like a top position. He also met a woman that he was spending time with, and they were thinking about like getting engaged. And he told me, you know, I'm not negative anymore. I think the best of people, and I feel so thankful for just being alive every morning when I wake up, and I want to contribute to the world. So this sounds like too good to be true, almost, right? It's almost religious, but it's totally true. Peter is a made-up name, but I don't know if he's listening to this or not. And I just had like 2 or 3 visits with him, you know, so I didn't really do too much thing. I think he would have figured all of this out by himself, but I was so touched by his story, and it's so common that you meet people that actually feel like the whole world are against them, and they feel like they're living in a cage. But it's the only way to break out of a cage is you do some changes in your life, you know, big changes, and Peter did it. So that's about it for today, guys. That's today's story. Eva, do you want to say goodbye? She's all upset here because we're not walking, so I'm going to take off. Guys, if you like these episodes, please share them with friends that maybe are living a cage life, have back pain. If you want me to check out your back or have my help, you can do it over Skype or come to the office if you live in Sweden. Check me out, okay? And if you want a free book, visit backpainsecrets.com. I got a book there. It's sold almost 10,000 copies, and you just pay shipping, okay? So give that a look. Guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And guys, remember, you're just one step away from healing your back pain. Bye-bye. Want more back pain secrets? Then go ahead and get your free copy of my best-selling book, Back Pain Secrets, at backpainsecrets.com. Inside this book, you will find my top secrets to healing your back pain without prescription drugs or surgery that have helped thousands of other people just like you.